is the head of my life. Without him, I would not be standing. I would not be breathing. Truth of the matter is, without him, I would not be existing. And so I give honor to God today for all that he has done. I also would like to give honor to your pastor, the one and the only, I call her mother, but she is Pastor Lewis. Come on and give it up for your pastor, Pastor Annie B. Lewis. Amen. And I've heard of Upper Room Christian Center. You can't be in Connecticut and never hear of it. I've heard of it, but I've never met the pastor. So give it up for your bishop, the bishop. It's funny because I was sitting there and I heard the same thing she said, but I'll leave it alone today. And I respect him highly because most preachers, when they grab the mic, they have a competition. So then you have to come behind them and get the people to go where God wants you to bring them. But the preacher done had, a whole deliverance service before you got up. So I respect him for not doing such. Amen. A lot of older people, they try to bury the young preacher, and then when he get up, he mumbling and fumbling. Amen. But so I honor you for that. I really respect him highly for that. As it was stated, you may have your seats. As it was stated, January is my anniversary also. Amen. That makes 1 year for us. Amen. Give you a little brief history. So we started in December, kind of coming together and forming the church, and then in January we had the opportunity to launch with my bishop's blessings, and so we started Great Awakening Church in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Amen. So if you're ever in the Bridgeport area around 2 o'clock, you can join us for a good time in the Lord. Some of my first followers are here, Sister Denise and Brother Stevie. We thank God for them. They live up this way and they travel to Bridgeport. I might be doing something right because they've been coming the whole year. They ain't missed a service yet, except for vacation. Amen. So we thank God for that. We got people coming from Ansonia, so the Lord is doing something in his holy temple there in Bridgeport at 2 o'clock. As it was also stated, I am with Bishop Michael Dinsmore. I serve as the general adjutant for the entire Community Churches of God, which he is the bishop over, and I am a prophet on staff there at his local church, Community Temple, there in Norwalk, Connecticut. So yes, I'm a busy guy. Amen. And so I've been with him since the age of 13. The first prophetic word he gave me at 13 was, he said, the hand of the Lord is on your life and you will preach. And I went home and I said, he lying to me. Because I don't even like to stand in front of folk, and I definitely don't like to talk in front of folk. There's two different things. I didn't like to stand in front of folk, and I definitely didn't like to talk in front of folk. But God has a way of getting his desire done. So we thank God for that. Just to give you a little bit more history, I came on through the Fire Baptized Holiness Church, so I know what a washboard is. I know, come on here, I know what a washboard is. I know what a tambourine is. I went through the New Canaan Baptist Church for a little while, so I know what a hymn is. And then I came on over to the Deliverance, so I know what speaking in tongues is and casting out devils. Yes, Lord. I've been casting out demons since 19, so if one wants to rise in here, I got an exit for you. Amen. All right. So yeah, I've been on through, all right? I've been at Hampton University Ministers Conference. I know I've been all around. Amen. So we are here today with not just a young man, but a man who has seen many different aspects and avenues to ministry. You will find me today in the book of Genesis. That is the first book, so you can't get lost there. Right after the table of contents, you will find yourself in Genesis. You can find that one by mistake. Amen. Amen. While you're finding that, I want to give honor again to Pastor Lewis, because some people struggle with who I am. She just said, you have your way. I went to go preach at one of the denominational churches, and they didn't know what to call me. They started off by calling me minister. They announced me and introduced me as elder, and when it was done, they called me pastor. I said, they're all scared of the word prophet, I guess. Y'all done went through every title. In a minute, y'all gonna call me Jesus. I was minister, elder, pastor. Just keep going. I ain't got that many gifts. I got a few, but I ain't got that many. Amen. Genesis chapter 25. Genesis chapter 25. He got the whole iPad of God. Amen. He is your new reader. Amen. Amen. He got the whole iPad. I think that's the tablet that Moses had. Moses came with a tablet. I think that's the tablet right there. Amen. I'm sorry. We have fun in church where I'm from. Amen. Amen. I think that was the tablet right there. How many commandments you got on that? Amen. I can see his Bible and my Bible. Amen. Did that come with a bag? Briefcase? All right. Amen. 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 You can see my friend over here on the organ. I see you left your kids at home. Amen. Genesis chapter 25. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I heard he came that we might have life. Amen. 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 And life more abundantly. Genesis chapter 25, verse 29. We should all be there by now. The bishop is standing, so we will all stand. That is not my custom, but it may be the custom of this house. And so we want to do that. We stand for everything else. So why not stand for the word? Verse 29 reads like this. One day when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau, everybody say Esau. Esau. Esau arrived home from the wilderness, exhausted and hungry. I'm sorry, I'm reading out of the New Living Translation. 1 year of pastoring taught me people don't understand King James. Amen. Amen. So we wasn't around in 1600s. So, I try to bring it a little bit closer to where we are now. The New Living Translation is still an integral translation. So once again, verse 29, I'll read it again in your hearing. One day when Jacob was cooking some stew, some good stew. I know someone was going to go eat when we get out of here. He was cooking some stew. Esau arrived home from the wilderness. Yes, Lord. Esau arrived home from the wilderness. And he said, exhausted and hungry. Esau arrived from the wilderness, exhausted and hungry. Esau said to Jacob, I'm starved. Give me some of that stew. This is how Esau got his other name, Edom, which means red. If you're lost, I'm in verse 31. It says, all right, Jacob replied, but trade me your rights as the firstborn son. Look, I'm dying of starvation, said Esau. What good is my birthright now? And verse 33 reads like this. But Jacob said, first you must swear that your birthright is mine. So Esau swore an oath, thereby selling his rights as the firstborn to his brother Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and some lentil soup. Esau ate the meal, then got up and left. He showed contempt for his right as the firstborn. You may have your seats today. I'm a young guy, but we still preach the word, and we still preach holiness. So I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, hey neighbor, deal with the appetite. I need you to find somebody across the room and say, hey neighbor, prophet's about to preach. Deal with your appetite. Deal with your appetite. Some of us got appetites in here. We got to deal. My God, I feel church early. We got to deal with our appetite. The rapper Meek Mills released a new CD called Champions. Everybody say Champions. And it's gone viral. Now, so much has been said about this album. Some say it was amazing and it's making headlines all over the world. And others are talking about this one song called What's Free. This song features Rick Ross and Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's verse on this particular CD. Some say it was controversial, while others are saying that he was throwing shade. He was throwing jabs at another rapper, namely Kanye West. And so I want to deal today not so much with the song, but with the topic of the song, and ask the question today, what's free. When we understand the title of that song, it begs a real good question. It asks the question, what's free? Am I free because I spun in a circle 3 times and said it? Am I free because I named it and claimed it, grabbed it and blabbed it? Am I free because my mama said I'm free, because my pastor said I'm free, because someone laid hands on me, put oil on me? How do I know, yes God, that I'm free? And so we see here in our text 2 brothers. Everybody say brothers. Yeah, and they were twins. They were twins, and they have a father by the name of Isaac. Now, if you read your Bible like you're supposed to every day, as Pastor Lewis said, you should know this name Isaac because he was one of the big 3 of faith. Yeah, we have Abraham, Isaac, who we're talking about today, and Jacob. They're one of the big 3s of our faith. So please understand, in retrospect, being part of this lineage is something amazing. Just being born and knowing that your father or your grandfather is Abraham sets you up to be a blessing. It sets you up to be a part of history that cannot be erased. Both sons will go down in history no matter what because of who they are, and not only that, but because they are born of this lineage. And in the biblical day, the firstborn male child would be one who is blessed with a double portion. Everybody say double. Double. A double portion of the father's inheritance and become the head of the family. So when we talk about the firstborn, let's not take that lightly. Yes, they have more responsibility, but when it's all said and done, they get a double portion of the inheritance. During this time, it was the firstborn son that would receive this special blessing from the father that I'm talking about today. And the father's blessing sets you up for the rest of your life. No, let me help you out. This type of blessing is not one that's going to be gone in 30 days, but the father's blessing in this day and in this time is one that sets you up for the rest of your life. Oh my God. Because of Abraham's sacrifice, Isaac will be blessed for the rest of his life. Because of Isaac's sacrifice, now Jacob and Esau will be blessed for the rest of their lives. And it goes on and on. And so I want to declare to somebody today, because of grandma's sacrifice, and because of grandpa's sacrifice, and because of mama's sacrifice, those that are coming next will be blessed. Yeah. So I have several issues though with our main character Esau. I know most of us look at Jacob so much, but in this text I want to look at Esau because I found out by reading the Bible I have some issues. And if you read the Bible and you don't have real issues with the text, then you might not be reading the Bible. And so let's work out some of my problems. They're mine. I didn't say they were yours. They're my problems that I had with Esau. Point number 1 was that when the appetite arised, yes God, Esau did not go to his father. Okay, right word, wrong church. Let me help you out, because in this text, many of us, we're Esau. And so in this text, Esau could have went to his father because he was his father's favorite, and his father could have fed him. Oh God, don't that sound like some of us? Instead of going to our heavenly father, what we're doing is we're going to Facebook. What we're doing is we're going to Snapchat. What we're doing is we're asking our friends who don't even like us anyway. What's happening is we forget to go to the father first. Oh God, I dare you to turn to your neighbor and say, go to the father first. Yeah. We have to go to the Father first, not second, not third, not after you tweeted about it, not after you snapped about it, not after you did a live about it, but you have to learn to go to the Father first. And so my issue with some of us today, and my issue with Esau here in the text, is that he did not go to the Father first. Oh my God, imagine a father seeing their child hungry. The father would have done whatever he could to feed the child, but he did not recognize that his father was in position to bless him. So what he did was he went to his sibling and started a rivalry. He went to his sibling, and now his sibling is requesting something from him that he should have never gave up. Okay, y'all ain't talking. I'm about to come right down your road, because some of us gave up some of our purity to people that we shouldn't have gave it up to. Some of us gave some of our time up to people we shouldn't have gave it up to. Some of us gave up some of our passwords to people we shouldn't have gave it up to. Some of us gave up our trust to people that we shouldn't have gave it up to. And so we gotta stop giving up stuff to people who don't deserve it. I'm trying to talk to you today that you need to go to your father first. Yeah, he'll never lead you wrong. He'll never never leave you astray. He was his father's favorite child. Yeah, his wife liked Jacob, but he liked Esau. And being Esau being the favorite, he could have gotten whatever he liked. Oh God, I know it's a song, you can have whatever you like. Esau did not understand that he was in position to get whatever he wanted from his father by the simple fact that he was born first. Oh my God. He was born first and he could have had whatever he wanted, but he found himself in a position where he was being driven by his appetite. Oh God, I know at 12 p.m. there's an appetite that rises. I know at 3 a.m. there's an appetite that rises, and you cannot let that appetite drive you. Oh God, you can't let that appetite have the keys to your car. You can't let that appetite live in your house. You can't let that appetite text you at night. You can't, oh my. All right, you can't let that appetite in. Yeah, I told you I'm from the old school church, and they said if you give them an inch, he'll take a mile. And so this is now where many of us are, because we're living out now the results of a bad decision. Yeah, we're living out the results of a bad decision. We decided to just lay down and Netflix and chill one time, and now 9 months later, okay, y'all not talking to me. I mean, yeah, it started on Snapchat, it went down in the DMs, but a little bit after that. All right, y'all pushing me. Yes, God. And so we see here in the text that Esau does something that really gets on my nerves. I'm still in my first point. He exaggerates. Oh my God. You have to be careful, first of all, who you talk to, but don't exaggerate to the wrong people, because they will now take advantage of you. Oh God, I feel my mantle rising. We have to now stop exaggerating. Women do this a lot, but we have to stop exaggerating. So we see Esau coming from hunting. Oh God, we see him coming from the field, and he was hunting, and now he has now the game. He has now the animal that he's killed, and he's bringing it in the house, and he was tired. But here in our text, he said he was starving. Oh God, I know he wasn't starving because he was a hunter. He had the ability to always get food. Oh God, y'all didn't see it in the text. And so he always had the ability to get food, so he could not be starving. He was not a baby. He wasn't waiting for somebody to make him a bottle. No, he was a grown man with the ability and the skill to hunt. Oh God. And so we see here that he goes to his brother. He says, I'm close to death. Just give me some of what you're cooking. And so his brother says, okay, I'll give you some of what I'm cooking, but I need you now to give me what you have for this food. Oh God. He says, I need you to give me the right that you have as being the firstborn. I need you to give me now the blessing. I need you to give me the thing that sets you up to be the head of the family. Yeah, I need you to give me now the fact that you were born. And by giving him this birthright, what Jacob now gives up is the fact that he's the firstborn. What Esau now gives up is the fact that he's the firstborn. What Esau now gives up is the fact that he is now going to be the head. So it should have been Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. But what happened was Esau said, I will give you this right. I will give you this part of my history. I will give you my future for some stew. Oh God. Okay. They don't believe me, Bishop. He said, I will give you my future for some stew. Y'all say, okay, that's dramatic. But some of us gave up our future for less than that. Oh God. Some of us gave up our future for a conversation. Some of us gave up our future for somebody to hold our hand. Some of us gave up our future for other things small, because we did not have correct godly vision. But yeah, so he was exaggerating. That's where I'm at. He was exaggerating, and in his exaggeration, Jacob, because he was his mother's favorite, he had that. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. There's nothing smarter than a woman, okay? And so Jacob, being his mom's favorite, he learned how to be cunning. Yeah. He learned how to be sneaky. He says, okay, I see you, and you think you're about to die, huh? I see you, and you're starving, huh? So let me help you. Come on, you can sit at the table. Don't this stew smell good? Yeah, it's lentil stew. Yeah, and I made it just the way the family likes it. This is mama's recipe in here. And so what happened What happened was, he said, okay, I smelled the stew. Give me some stew. You're my brother. You can give me some stew. He said, no. I need you now to pay me for this with your first right. I need you to give me your birthright, as we say. I need you to now exchange with me for what it was that you got for being born first. And when we play this story here in the Bible in replay, what happens is we even see that they were at odds a little bit in the belly of their mother, because as Esau was trying to get out, we see Jacob holding on to his heel. Oh my God. So we see the fact that he was a little bit of a trickster. Yeah, that's how he got the name Jacob. That's why God had to change it in the future. And so we see him like a trickster. So if I'm going to exaggerate to anybody, guess who it wouldn't be? If I'm going to tell anybody that I'm going through, guess who it wouldn't be? Never tell a trickster, oh my God, what you're going through. Why? Because tricks are for kids. All right, yeah, I don't play kids games. Yeah, all right. So if you ever in the past couldn't trust them, why would you now open yourself up in the midst of your vulnerability? Point number two. Point number two is the simple fact, here we go, church going wild. Point number two is family isn't always faithful. Oh God, now I told you earlier, and the text said it real good, that this was his twin brother. Oh no, wait a minute. So this was his twin brother. Now theologians fight whether or not they looked alike, but at the end of the day, if anybody I should be close to, it's my twin brother. Hold on, we came out of the same womb moments apart. We shared the same room. We shared the same bed. We raised together. We played with the same toys. Our clothes were interchangeable. If I could trust anybody, it would be my twin brother, you would think, right? Right? If I could trust anybody, it should be the twin. It should be the one who acts like me, the one who thinks like me, the one who operates like me. Yeah, if I could trust anybody, you would think I'd be able to trust my twin brother, but we understand that there was some sibling rivalry because the truth of the matter is, yeah, mama's good, but everybody wants to be daddy's favorite. And so Esau already had the respect of his father. And so now what happens is, because, oh God, let me talk to some of you parents. What happens is, because you have two children and only one of them is your favorite, what begins to happen is, how do I gain the love of my father? Okay, how do I gain the respect of my father? See, the issue really started because Isaac, he enjoyed the game. He enjoyed the deer and the things that Esau would hunt. And so he was like, yeah, put it in the pot for me, cook it. He enjoyed the fact that Esau would now go and hunt for him. So he had a heart for Esau. But what he did not remember was, Esau might have hunted it, but Jacob is the one who cooked it. And so let me talk to some of us who are in sibling rivalries. You are equal to your brother, you're equal to your sister, because without you, there's still something that would not happen. I know mama liked them a little better because they tell jokes. I know daddy liked them a little better because he continued in the family business. But there is now, we are equals because you can't have one without the other. And so we thank God for the hunter, but who gonna cook it? And so this is where Jacob comes in. But Jacob, he couldn't see it like that. So he says, you know what? The only way to get my father to respect me, the only way to get my father to bless me, what I will do is I will now steal, yes God, I will steal the birthright of my brother. I know I should be the oldest, and you have to be careful in your life that pride does not come into your heart. Pride always says that I should be somewhere that I shouldn't be. Pride always says I am better than them. I should be the one leading praise and worship. I should be the one ushering. Pastor didn't say thank you to me, and I'm the one who kept this ministry together. We have to be careful that pride doesn't rise up in our lives. But I told you that we're dealing with the thought that family is not always faithful, and so sometimes I know that you love your family. You ride or die. Blood is thicker than water. But the truth of the matter is, you have to be careful with family, because if the devil was going to sneak in and get you anyway, he would use those closest to you. Everybody say family. Yeah. And so the enemy, he likes to meddle in families because he understands the family is the only thing that really can get to you. The family. Yeah. I know some people who have mental breakdowns because they didn't get invited to the family reunion because nobody from their family said happy birthday. And so we see here that now family is not always faithful, but when family isn't faithful, so what? Because God is still faithful. And so I understand that my family might not be faithful, but my Father is. Yeah. And so we have to get to the place where we understand that my Father is always faithful. So I understand that my Father, he might forsake me. I understand that my sister might leave me. But my Heavenly Father, he's always got my back. But my third issue with Esau today, because we dealt with two of them already, I had a problem that when the problem arose, he did not go to the Father because he was the Father's favorite. Turn to your neighbor and say, you're favored. You're favored. You're favored. But then point number two, we understood that family is not always faithful. If Jacob could have trusted anybody, you would think it would be, if Esau could have trusted anybody, you would think it'd be Jacob. If Esau could have trusted anybody, you would think it'd be that one who looks just like him. But number three, you have to begin to keep the future in sight. Oh God, that was major. Let me say it again. You have to be able to keep the future in sight. And so I will not downplay what Esau was going through. Yeah, he was hungry, but the truth of the matter is, soon as Jacob said, let me have your birthright, he should have said, hold up, wait a minute. No, you cannot have that because that is my key to the future. And be careful to anybody that tries to take your key to the future. Be careful of anybody who tries to move you away from your talent, move you away from your gift, move you away from your calling, because they're trying to destroy your future. And so we have to be careful of them who try now to alter our future. The enemy is not worried about your today. I know that you are being attacked today, but the enemy is not worried about you today. But what he's trying to do is he's trying to change the course of your future. What he's trying to do is he's trying to stop you from being all that God said that you would be. He's trying to stop you from becoming all that. Did you know there's a millionaire in this room? But if you do not stay on course, oh my, yes God, but if you do not stay on course, what will begin to happen is you will now find yourself on a road that you had never intended to be on. Yeah, so we have to now get to the place where we understand that my future is important. Yes, okay, I don't just live for the now. I have to be careful, and I must always keep my future in sight. So yeah, I don't go to the club because somebody might get shot, and that somebody might be me. So I'm careful. I don't go because I don't want to have a good time. I don't go because I keep my future in sight. If I die today, I can't manifest the promise tomorrow. Yeah, you have to keep your future in sight. Yeah, future in sight. I was always careful who I hung around. I was always, I'm talking about me now. I was always careful who I hung around with. I was always careful where I went, because the simple fact is that it's possible now that something could happen to me and I might not become that which God said. I know bad theology taught you that if God said it, it's going to happen. But the truth of the matter is you must be a willing participant in what God said. You have to be someone who walks it out. Yeah, you have to begin to now walk out what it is that God has said about your life. If he's called you to pastor, if he's called you to preach, there is some work that you must do. If he's called you to be a millionaire, you need to open up a bank account. You need to study the habits of millionaires. You need to learn how to budget. Come on here. But what happens is we get the word and then we cross our hands and do nothing because we think that it's going to fall out of the sky. We think that it's going to happen by osmosis. We think that it's just going to happen because God said it. But the truth of the matter is it's going to happen because you're going to stay on the course that God gives you. If you are going to be successful, I'm talking to everybody now, if you're going to be successful, you must now stay on the path. And that's why I like the Bible, because it gives you now the resources to be successful. Most businesses, they never say Jesus, but they believe in tithing. Come on here. Because they understand that in this Bible that there is success in it. And so most people, what they do is they take out of this word and they do what they want with it, but they understand that I must respect what God has spoken. And so we have to get to the place where we understand, here it is, if you're tweeting, if you're taking notes, today's sacrifice impacts tomorrow's situation. Oh God. God, that's good enough for me to say it again. I said today's sacrifice impacts tomorrow's situation. And so what I do today will show up in my tomorrow. And so I have to make good decisions today so I can have a good future tomorrow. See, the thing about tomorrow is it's always coming. And so what I do today will always impact what's coming. It will always impact tomorrow.
All right now.
Yeah, it will always impact tomorrow. So today's sacrifice, yes, God, it impacts tomorrow's situation. And so a lot of us, if we look back over our life, we'll say, oh my God, just that one day, that one night, that one time, hold up, wait a minute, that is now impacting my today, oh God. And so now the truth of the old saying is you have to live with the consequences of your actions. Yeah, that's becoming true in a lot of our lives. We said, if I was just 10 years younger, I would have did this differently. When I was 17, I would have said this to myself. I would have changed some things about me. I wouldn't have went to that place. I wouldn't have hung out with that person. There's some things, if we be honest on today, I wish I had an honest church. If we be honest today, there's some things that we would have done differently. And so I want us to understand though, that if you eat it today, whatever your it is, if you indulge in it today, you will lose your tomorrow. And so just a simple appetite, just a simple desire for something while he was hungry, just a simple longing. Now he sacrificed his tomorrow. Oh God, I want you to understand that you cannot sell your inheritance to fulfill your appetite. Do not sell, oh my God, don't sell your inheritance. God has some things in store with you. Don't give those up.
Come on.
Just to fulfill your appetite. Now when I say appetite, y'all only thinking about food, so let me end it here. But when I talk about appetite, I'm talking about that thing that you do when you're all alone. The thing that pastor don't know about, for some of you, the thing that your wife don't know about, the thing that is hidden, the thing that if we put it on this wall right here, if we had a projector and put it on this wall right here, you would be embarrassed. I'm talking about that thing. That thing is an appetite. I'm talking about the thing that you stop for 10 days and you give yourself a high five only to do it on the 11th day. I'm talking about that thing that you can put it away for 30 days, but it shows back up at day 31. I know you fasted about it, you prayed. I'm talking about that appetite on today. Yeah, I'm talking about that secret longing for something that separates you from God. I'm talking about the thing that if it were removed, you would be, doing signs, wonders, and miracles. But for some reason, you take a step forward, but it's pulling you back. That is a appetite. Now, when I was younger, we only had this big book called a concordance, and it was written by Matthew Henry. Now we got websites and all of that. But he said it this way. He says, the gratifying of sensual appetite is that which ruins thousands of precious souls. Oh God, let me give it to you, Bible. Philippians 3:19, it says, it talks about the type of person who is ruled by their appetites. It says that they are headed for destruction. It says their God is their appetite, or in King James, it says their God is their belly. We have to understand that we cannot let our appetites drive us any longer. And so this is why I come to church and I praise God, because when I magnify God, my appetite becomes smaller. So I started off with the question, what's free? I'm done. And so let me answer that for you. What's free? So we have here in the text a man with an appetite who gave it up. He gave up his future to fulfill his appetite. And that sounds like some of us, but others of us, the prophet is coming to stop you before you make a bad decision that will ruin your life. Don't hang out with them. Don't talk to them. Don't return their phone call. The prophet's coming to tell you that, yeah, you desire to do it, but you can't do everything you desire. I ain't got no church. You can't do everything that you want to do. So what's free? Let me read it to you. Let me say it to you like they said it in the Bible. He came that I might have life and life more abundantly. What is free? The thing that is free is the life that Christ comes to offer you today.
Yes, Lord.
The fact that Christ died in your place is the freedom, is the life that he's giving you for free. Playing softly. And so today, I want to talk to some people who say, I got appetites.
I got appetites.
But you just told me I can get a new life for free. I can get a brand new life for free. Now let me help you out with this. It does not mean that it will be easy, but it does mean that he's already made the way for you. You can have life, not just any life, not just inhale, exhale, breathing life, but you can begin to now have the type of life that pleases God, the type of life that will put you at one with the Father.